under 18 championships here in just joining me in the booth, Julia Fixter, over from Queensland.
Good morning.
Good morning, Julia. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
This is Chris Lyons will bring the play-by-play. Julia Fixter just popped into the box here. Did you want to do play-by-play, or did you want to
I'll
do
leave that for the pro.
color and analysis?
That sounds good to me, Chris.
All right, so welcome, Julia, and thanks for stepping in. Gives my voice a bit of a break occasionally.
Yeah,
we get set for this first tilt of the day. The TANGE teams, Queensland and ACT. We'll go through the lineups. ACT defending the goal to the camera right. They're the designated home team. Queensland to the left, the away team. We'll start off with the away team. Do you want to introduce the Queensland team?
Oh, my pleasure. So we have number 2, Nate Fixter, who's been injured the last two games, actually. We've got 4 as Barrett Mannix, 11 Fred Hawes, number 12 Winston Mannix, 19 Jackson Stanek, number 20 Jace Haley, 24 Didier Dalgety, 28 Bryce Hodges, 42 Oliver Smith, 44 is Aussie Partridge. We have 47 Jack Molly, 55 Sammy Rippon, 77 Hunter Boland, 81 Alex DeGraff, 87 Mason Lupton. In our nets we have number 1 Kayla Arthur and 45 Liam Robinson.
And the coaching staff.
Yeah, our coaching staff, we've got Nathan Dale, and we've got Tuffy Smith, Maddie Summers, and team manager is Rachel Hodges.
And for ACT, number 3, Alexander Sargent. Number 6, Noah Harvey. Number 7, Rohan DeRoy. Number 14, Nicholas Panani, and I'm struggling with that name for some reason. I'm not sure. Apologize for that. 17, Andrew Colburn. Number 21, Oscar Villegas. Number 22, Will Waters. Number 25, Luke Tuckey. Number 33, Hugo Sutherland. Number 64, Liam Waters. Number 80, Logan Woods. Number 87, Fletcher Brown. Number 91, Clayton Ballard. And in goal, Fiorella Avarisas. Head coach Mike Sargent, assistant coach Rob Harvey, team managers Marianne Cullen and Daniel Spratt. The officials for today's game, Fraser Olson and Casper Russellhuber with the red armbands on, and Jameson Harris and Vince Giblin on the lines. We get set for this first contest of this early morning here in WA, 6 a.m. start. Queensland previously lost out to New South Wales on a big score, 10-1, and ACT to New South Wales again, 12-1. Julie, what do you think?
Yeah, that's we're up to day 3 for day 3. Are we at day 3? My gosh, it's Thursday already, Chris.
Day 3 for you, about day 7 for me.
Yeah, you've been here right from the start.
Yeah, we get ready for this first contest. Queensland does look fairly strong.
All right, our starting lineup for Queensland, we've got Partridge, Stanek and Bryce Hodges on our forward line, and Hunter Boland and Fred Hawes at the back end.
Villegas, Woods, and that's number 3, Sargent. And back on D.
Got one of the Waters boys.
22, Will Waters, and number 7, Rohan DeRoy. And in goal for Queensland, that's number 1,
That's
Kayla Arthur. Hey, she had a pretty strong game, made some decent stops in her last appearance. Just a bit outmatched by the team they were up against, this ACT side, coming into town, and have a couple of other state players playing for them who I've met, and so they look like they're having a good time. That's into the corner. That's number 28, For Queensland, Bryce Hodges, he had to sit out the game yesterday with a suspension after a check and an injury. Delayed offside as both the ACT and Queensland go for their first changes of the day. On comes Mannix for Queensland. Down the right side is number 23. 25 that is, back into the Queensland zone. It's going to take me a bit of time this morning to warm my voice and get my brain coordinated with my voice as I try and get these names and numbers sorted.
I haven't had my coffee this morning yet, Chris. So
well, the coffee shop is open.
Yeah.
Back into the ACT zone, up onto the wing. Picked off by number 81, DeRoy. He goes for a change. Back into the ACT zone. Queensland takes the shot. That's number 47 for Queensland, Jack Molly. Back into the zone it goes. Behind the goal, Molly in pursuit. He brings it to the front of the net. Good stick by the ACT player, and a shot on goaltender Arvisis makes the save. First stoppage of the play.
Queensland having the first two shots on net early this morning.
Face-off win by Queensland, but ACT takes control of it. Good stick on puck. Oh, and the goaltender had to be sharp on that as a quick deflection to the front of the net.
Yes.
Right onto his pads.
Some good reflexes.
Back behind the goal, D to D, up onto the half boards, looking at the breakout. Back comes number 6 for ACT, chasing down the puck, takes away the icing. Puck goes behind the net. That's number 14, Penny. Back to the high slot, picked off by Queensland. Good pressure by ACT. That's number 81 with the backhand shot on goal. And that goes for a stoppage in play.
ACT bringing it down to their offensive end this morning.
Good rush, good forecheck pressure, and just a weak shot on goal that goaltender Arthur had no problem with. Face-off win by Queensland. Behind the net. Up on the wing. Stanek, he comes into the zone. Back to the blue line. That's number 11 with it, Hawes. He gets taken down into the corner. Hodges back to the blue line. Number 19, Stanek with it again. He's looked pretty impressive this tournament. D to D, that's to number 33, Sutherland. Queensland get it to the front of the net. Oh, just missing the near side on that pass out from the corner. I believe that was Stanek. Back to the front of the net. Hodges, he goes to the net. Queensland putting some pressure on this shift. ACT get control of it, start the breakout. To the blue line into the neutral zone, but back into the zone it goes. Cockburn picks it up behind the goal. Partridge putting pressure on. They turn it over. To the front of the net. Pass all the way back down the ice. That'll go. And that was passed by the Queensland player back down the ice. And that'll be brought back.
Both end play this morning.
Yeah, so far not too bad. ACT getting some penetration, getting a shot on goal, and a face-off win. Back behind the goal, picking up is number 7 for ACT, DeRoy. Oh, stolen in front, fired towards the net. Goaltender had to be careful on that one, makes a good stop. And that gets chipped off the stick of number 77 for Queensland, and over the glass, Hunter Boland.
Yeah, they had a couple of shots there on ACT's goalie. Pulling quite awake this time of the morning, these boys.
He's been sharp despite the scoreline in the couple of games that he's played. Back into the corner to the front of the net. That hits the side of the goal. ACT again starts the breakout. Can't get it past the blue line. That's Rippon fires it in. Boland on the far point. He gets it into the corner. Barrett Mannix. He gets it back behind the goal. A reverse by number 81, de Graaf, and he gets checked. Back behind the goal. Molly, he picks it up in the corner. Reverses back into the behind the net. Mannix. He gets it over to number 81, back to Molly. He reverses into the corner. They've got the cycle going. Big bodies in behind the net. To the front, Wally, he misses, and down the into the neutral zone, the puck comes, and ACT will go for a change. Just missing the breakout pass, and that'll be an icing call.
Love when the refs have their eyes on.
Yeah, they got to be sharp. Some of these guys are sneaky. Jump onto the bench and then duck down behind their teammates.
Just for some little break there. Jack Molly had his 18th birthday yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Had a goal on his birthday.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Yeah.
Face-off win by Queensland. They come out off the skate of Partridge. ACT trying to get possession of that puck. Taken by Stanek. Turned over. Back comes ACT on a partial break. That's number 6 over the line. Gets to the center of the ice. Gets the shot away. That's deflected into the corner. Sutherland, he keeps it in. Into the corner behind the goal. Big hit. As two big bodies collide in the corner. Queensland, out they come. Lead pass up to Stanek. He can't get it. Back into the zone it goes. That's Hodges. He takes the shot off the leg of Cockburn. They come together in the corner. Puck rimmed around to the point. Dalgety. He fires it back into the corner. Hodges picks it up. He reverses. Partridge gets to the front of the net. Good stick by the ACT forward to deflect that out to the blue line. Back into the zone, and that'll draw a penalty as Cockburn gets the Queensland player right in the numbers, and he'll go to the box for 2 or less as he gets up a little bit slowly. Is that Stanek? That got
ACT 17, minor penalty, boarding.
It is number 19, Stanek, taken into the boards. Just turned, and Cockburn got him right in the numbers.
For ACT for their power play.
First power play of the day. Won by Queensland, but stolen by ACT. And they fire it down the ice. Haley, he gets it in deep. Hodges goes in after it. Rimmed around by number 7 for ACT. DeRoy back to the blue line as they set up Queensland. Hard shot. Oh, right into the glove, but off the heel of the glove and drops right in front of the goaltender.
1 minute 36 left on the power play for Queensland.
Can't trust that penalty time clock.
No.
Unfortunately.
It's behaving this morning. So
no,
far.
they reset it every time there's a stoppage.
Aye.
So we're back on at, I'll have to figure that one out where we're back on.
I teach English here. I'm not. I'll leave you to the maths. So.
I'll just let it run its course. I'm sure somebody will tell me when they're back on the ice. Back to the point to Boland. Boland, D to D, hard shot. Oh, just missing the backdoor opportunity by Hodges. It goes into the corner. Hodges brings it out of the corner behind the net. One hand on the stick. He gets hooked. Looks like we're going to have another penalty to number 7, DeRoy, as Queensland has control of it. And as number 6, Noah Harvey, the captain, gets control. The whistle goes, and Queensland will go on a 5-on-4 or 5-on-3
yeah.
for the next 54
ACT,
seconds.
number 7, minor penalty, hooking.
It's an opportunity for Queensland down in their defensive end.
5-on-3 is sometimes a difficult power play because the teams do tend to sit back a little bit and be a bit complacent, figuring they've got all this time and space. They don't move the puck as quickly, and they lose that opportunity. Warning to Queensland on the false start. Win by Hodges. That goes all the way down the ice. Past Boland. He goes back for it. Boland with speed down the left side. Drops it off to the D. Takes the shot. Scores. Hodges from the blue line. Gets that shot away. Clean into the top corner.
And we have Queensland in front, 1-0.
Next line, please, coach. Next line. Keep going, guys. Keep going.
And we should be on a 5-on-4.
Yeah,
Still a power play, but unsure how long for.
minute 43 to go in that second penalty. Back on the attack is Queensland, 1-0 the score. ACT forcing them back into the neutral zone to Graf. He passes it onto the wing, slowly under the wing, flipped into the zone. Picked up by big number 17, Cockburn. D to D. Hodges back on the ice. He goes back for it. ACT makes some quick changes. Over the blue line. Motley gets it behind the net. Reverses, tries that high shot as he comes out from behind the goal. Back to, that's number 20. Was that Hodges or was that Haley? I think that was.
ACT goal, he's getting a bit peppered down there. He's had 10 shots on net.
Face off to his left. Pushed in by Hodges. Back to the blue line. Shot by Mannix. Off the pads. Clearing attempts blocked at the blue line. Now it's sent down the ice. Into the corner it goes. Behind the goal. Back comes Boland. Chips it off his teammate's stick. At the blue line. He goes in. Circles into the corner. Top of the faceoff dot. Back to the blue line. Back to Boland. Takes the shot. And that's into the glove of the goaltender.
Yeah, he's holding this. That's it. Are we off for a 5-on-5?
Yeah, we're back to even strength. Don't forget to write down both penalties.
All right, we've got 5 minutes, 28 left remaining in the first period.
12-1 the shots on goal so far. Queensland dominating. Of course, the 2 penalties helped. Back into the zone it goes on the delayed offside. They clear the zone. Sutherland, he reverses, gets it up onto the wing. Chipped up to the blue line, but not out. Back into the corner. Across the crease. ACT, they're coming out of the zone. That's Brown. He fires it across the blue line and out. And bringing it in offside is number 14, Nicholas Panayi. ACT just not able to penetrate into the Queensland zone. Face-off win again by Queensland. Mannix, he brings it back in. Fired out by DeRoy. Big hit on number 3, Sargent. To the red blue line. Tipped into Mannix. He chips it and chases it into the corner behind the goal. Number 21 for ACT, Villegas. He puts it back into the corner. Fired to the blue line and out. Picked off, and down the ice comes Sargent. He can't get it past his man. Chips it into the corner and chases after it. Up onto the half boards on the far side. That's number 81, DeGraff picks it up. He goes behind the net. He swings down the right-hand side, going wide. It's past his man, picked off. Back comes ACT. That's Sargent with it. Good play by Partridge to take it off his stick. And a good play by the ACT player. Chipped up onto the boards into the Queensland zone, and they break up the left side. Fired a shot. Oh, that bounced down just wide of the post. Sargent, he gets it just to the half boards, but not out. And back comes ACT down the right side, 1-on-3 over the blue line. That's number 25, Tucky. He gets taken down. Queensland player and ACT player tied up, kept in at the blue line. But out comes Boland. Good stick by the ACT player. Back comes Stanek. Into the line. Oh, off the pads of the goaltender. And over the net, over the glass into the netting. I was commentating with Rick Cooper earlier in the week. Long-time stalwart in inline hockey as well as ice hockey. And I was calling Stanicky.
Sneaky? Is that some? Yeah.
And Rick said, well, I know I played hockey with his dad. I know it's Stanek, so...
It's definitely Stanek.
It's good to have that inside information. Back behind the goal with it, number 20. I believe that was. Back to the D. Winds up for a wrist shot. That goes wide. Kept in by Dougherty. ACT desperately trying to get this puck out of the zone, and they finally do. Back with it is Harvey. Down the right side goes, that's 14. Queensland comes back, 3-on-2. As Haley joins the rush. Fired to the net. Rebound out to the side. Behind the goal. Good stick by the ACT player as he kicks it into the corner. Queensland, they're buzzing in the zone now. Back behind the goal to DeGraff. He gets it back to the blue line and falls. Fired. Oh, and that goes off the face mask of the defense. Good thing for Cages. Back down the ice comes number 7, DeRoy. He gets it behind the goal. Picked up on the far side by his teammate. Takes a big hit. Keeps it in the zone. In front of the goal. Rimmed around the boards by Queensland. That's going to go down the ice, but slows down on the sticky ice. Puck up onto the half boards just inside the ATZ zone. Hawes gets it over to Boland. Boland goes in, head up all the way. Gets the backhand pass to the front of the net, off a skate, to the slot. As Sutherland pursues it, tries to get it out of the zone and can't. Fired to the slot. Linesman in my way. Their position is more important than mine. As ACT gets it to the blue line, through the skates of Boland, and out comes number 3, Sargent for ACT. Over the line, gets the backhand to the front of the net, wide open net. Oh, and just missed that golden opportunity. On the back door was number 21 for ACT. As Sargent fed the puck over to him. Back comes Rippon to Hodges over the blue line. Hard shot to the front of the net. Rippon picks it up on the half boards. Tries to reverse. ACT down the wing they come. 2-on-3. Fired behind the goal, wide. Hodges, he whacks at the puck. Down goes the Queensland player. Stanek down the wing. One-on-one, makes the nice move, gets it to the backhand, to the front of the net. Loose puck, Cockburn battling behind the goal with the Queensland player. Fired off the boards and down out into the blue line. Back to the middle of the ice. Shot right into the breadbasket by number 87.
Stop right on the buzzer.
Right on the buzzer. Man, that snuck up on us pretty quick, didn't it?
Yeah. Geez, 19 shots on net for Queensland. ACT goalie. Who we got in net?
Fiorello
Fiorello.
Arvise.
Yeah, sorry if we're saying that that wrong, Fiorello.
Well, as I've said repeatedly, please feel free if you're listening to correct it through social media or somebody that you know here at the rink.
Yeah.
Try our best, but we don't always get the pronunciations right, do we?
That is it. But he's definitely on fire this morning. 19 shots.
Yeah, no, he's had a strong tournament. Faced a lot of shots. And, yeah, ACT always in tough with numbers, having to bring in players from other states that don't quite make the or get selected for their state team for whatever reason.
It's good bringing in a state, giving opportunities for the other players.
The more the merrier,
Absolutely.
the better for the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Julia, correct me if I'm wrong, and I may be totally wrong, but Nathan is your son as well,
Yes,
is he?
yeah,
So
yeah.
he's playing here in Perth now.
He's Hayden. Hayden's
Hayden.
lives here. Yeah, so he's
Yeah.
playing in Perth. So I've got one son over here and two in Brisbane. So
I get the pleasure of coaching Hayden on the Premier League here
there you go.
on Monday nights with the Perth Premier League. So
yeah, I was just hearing about the Monday night training from Haiti.
I'm more or less just push pucks, and Graham Hyde and Dave
Yeah.
Ruck run the practices, but occasionally I get my licks in on the training session.
I dropped in to see one of the I don't know, they call it beer hockey on the is it Wednesday nights. It was quite fun to watch over at the rink last night.
Oh, okay. So you went over for that
Yeah,
summer
went
league,
over
did you?
Yeah, the summer league. Yeah.
I normally play in that, but was standing here all day. I was so sore when I tried to play on Monday night. I could hardly move on the ice.
Oh my gosh.
I just needed to go home and rest.
Yeah.
So I play with Riley's brother Ryan in the summer league.
Yeah.
With the Bush Chooks. And big
There you
victory
go.
last night without me in the lineup.
I did watch that game. They had a good win.
Oh, good stuff.
It was good.
So that brief break over. The teams will go back to center ice. Long change this period.
Yeah.
So as we say, change when you can, not when you need to. So quick changes. The goaltenders tap gloves. I love to see that, a little bit of sportsmanship between the goaltending fraternity. Is generally you'll see that during games. They'll just tap the gloves of each other as they skate past each other back to their creases. So
Love what we've got matching jerseys in net. We've got number ones, both ends.
that's right. Getting set for the face-off. Draw one by ACT. Up the wing comes Sutherland. He dumps it in and chases after the big defenseman. Chip past them, up to Bolin. Bolin takes a shot, scores! Used the breaking winger as a bit of a decoy and just fired a quick shot over the shoulder of the goaltender for a 2-0 lead.
44-19-11.
That was number 44.
So Aussie Partridge.
Aussie Partridge.
Yeah, from Jackson Stanek. And did he say 11?
Number 11, Fred Hawes. Quick goal, 12 seconds in. Back they come for more, but that was fired from their own side of the red line. And that'll come back for icing.
Right, we've got Ballard and Jace Haley on face-off.
Thank you for the comment on the socials. I'm told that I can just call the goaltender for ACT Fury. And Fury
There
with
you
20
go.
shots on goal, so I'll call him Fury. Thank you very much. That makes my job easier. We got a penalty coming on the play. And I believe that might be to Queensland.
It's Ollie Smith.
Watch your toes.
Oh, again?
Good, eh? We're on first name basis now. Ollie was in the box 3 or 4 times last night.
42 Queensland, 2 minutes, tripping.
We have a tripping call, so we'll have a power play for the ACT with our opportunity down on their offensive end.
Oliver Smith in the box. Face off to the left of the goaltender, Arthur. Won by ACT. Sargent gets it over to number 6, Harvey. Back to Sargent, back to Harvey. Picked off as he stumbles with the puck. That's the Graf back into the zone. He brings it back out into the neutral zone. Killing precious time off this power play. Byard down the ice. Back for it is ACT as they set up on this power play. Get it up to the neutral zone off the skates of Sargent. Picked up by, that's number 7. Back to number 6. Harvey goes through his legs. Up to the middle, Sargent, he chips it ahead. Harvey, he picks it up, circles back to the blue line. Sargent kicks it off his skates, up onto his stick. Back into the zone it goes, behind the goal. That's number 55, Rippon. Rippon, he gets in up to the red line and fires it in. Again, killing valuable seconds off this power play. Less than a minute to go in the power play. ACT gets it over the line. Puck comes into the slot.
Nice quick hands from the... Now, is it Fleury? Is that what they're calling it?
Fury.
Fury. Love it.
Good quick glove by the goaltender on that giveaway. And coming down the slot, the Queensland player fired the shot right into the glove. Face off to his right.
Now, the clock says 38 seconds left on the power play for ACT, so...
That should be correct as they
Sounds about
reset it
right.
after each stoppage. It looks to be working this morning,
It
so we'll
does.
keep an eye on it. And I'll just keep an eye on the main clock. 12:27 is when Smith is back on the ice. ACT can't force it through. They do get into the zone on the half boards. Back to the blue line. Fans on the shot was Cockburn. Back into the middle of the slot. To the front of the net. Sutherland battling in front. Back to the blue line. Watch your toes. Penalty's over. Smith out of the box. He gets his stick on that. Gets it deep into the ACT zone. Chasing down number 91 for ACT behind the goal. He gets it off the skate of Haley. Bounces back into the zone. Fired into the neutral zone. Back comes Queensland. Over the blue line. And number 11, Hawes, gets tripped up. And Sutherland, he'll go to the box. Just an inadvertent collision, but missed check. Gets the legs of the Queensland forward.
One of those unfortunate trippings that just occur, but unfortunately need to be called.
33, minor penalty, knee.
Kneeing call. Yeah, we've seen that a couple times this tournament as players just mistime the hits or go for the big hit, try and avoid it, and they catch a knee. So face off to the right of the goaltender. Hodge is in for it, wins the draw. Boland to Rippon, or Partridge that is, back into the corner. Molly fires it to the front of the net. As Queensland buzzing now a bit. Hodges, he gets it knocked off his stick, recovers. Back behind the goal. to the half boards, back to the blue line. Boland gets it to Partridge to the front of the net, right into the breadbasket of the goaltender. He freezes it for a stoppage.
Yeah, and 21 shots on net. Fury's on fire this morning.
Certainly is. He was equally as sharp in previous games.
Yeah,
he just got a lot of shots.
First game I've seen, so it's, yeah. He's holding ACT in with just a 2-0 score.
Mannix in on the draw. Up against the ACT forward, number 21, Villegas. Queensland win it. Behind the goal, back to the blue line. Trying to set it up. Down low, up high. Shot off the shin pads or skates of Sargent. Bounces into the corner. Behind the net. Back to the blue line, that's Stanek. He searches for the a lane, fires it to the front of the net. Wide open goal. Goal saying dive. That
Body
was
on the line there, yeah.
ACT trying to get it out of the zone. Sargent. Fired down the ice. 44 seconds in the power play. And it does look like that penalty time clock might have been fixed. Puck is back down the ice. Queensland just missing that breakout pass. And that'll go for icing.
No change for Queensland there.
And they do try.
They do try.
They got to be careful. Too many warnings and they'll get a delay of game penalty.
Yeah.
Face-off won by Queensland. Back behind the goal. Rims it around. That hits the stanchion. Bounces funny. Back into the corner. Mali reversing behind the goal. Up onto the half boards. That's the Partridge. He takes a hit. Behind the goal. He's getting up speed. Closely watched by Smith. To the blue line. Over the blue line. That's number 20, Haley. He circles around back into the corner. Penalty about to expire. Queensland will have to watch the guy coming out of the box. Fired on goal. Partridge. He takes a light bump at the blue line. Circles back in. Dalgety picks it up. Penalty's over. Full strength. Queensland fire it back into the zone. Back for it is Cockburn. He picks it up beside his net. Taken away by Partridge, and he dumps it in the corner, goes for Chain. Cockburn overskates it. Hodges picks it up. He tries to get it to the front of the net. Kicks it up onto a stick. Squeezes number 91 for ACT out on the boards. That's Ballard. Sutherland gets taken down by Hodges. Mannix behind the goal. ACT to the blue line and out as Boland takes it back. He's circling back, puts it past Sutherland, can't catch up to it. Down into the zone it goes. Fired behind the net. Sutherland can't keep up to it. Boland fires it towards the net, and that's off the stick of the goaltender. Over the glass for a stoppage. 23 shots on goal now.
Yeah, the defense for ACT are doing a lot better in this period. There's less shots getting fired from Queensland.
Yeah, they're getting sticks in the lane, getting those deflections, and not letting Queensland get to the front of the net. Face-off win by ACT, pushed ahead. Down comes number 89, takes a hit at the blue line. Picked up by Sutherland. He takes it in. Rims it around the boards. That's picked up by number 6, Harvey. Looks for an option. Back behind the net as they cycle the puck. Number 14, Penny. Queensland, now they do get it out down the ice, and that's going to go for icing. As number 42, Ollie Smith, Just gets rid of it. Gets them a face-off to reset, but they can't make the change.
ACT with a nice wholesale change there, fresh legs.
Face-off won by Queensland, pushed ahead. In comes number 87. Fires it into the zone. Partridge stays on side. Oh, he rushes in, and the puck slides off the stick of the ACT defense, trying to get out of the zone. Cockburn, he takes it into the corner, takes a bump from the Queensland player. Fired into the top shelf by number 55, Sammy Rippon.
Nice blue line goal there, straight into the net.
In that case, they did get some traffic to the front, and Rippon just reached back from the point and ripped it top shelf.
And that will put Queensland in front, 3-0. Kayla only facing one shot on net now, so ACT gets to try and get those shots on.
Linesman Vince Giblin gets the players to reset as they encroached along on the face-off circle. Pushed ahead by Queensland. Over the line, Hodges. He dumps it into the corner. Back to the front of the net. Oh, and that just went wide. I think that one off the outside of the post. It's the quick pass to the front of the net. Hodges, he tries to get it to the middle. Queensland pick it up. That's number 44, Partridge. He reverses. Hodges picks it up behind the goal. Back to the blue line. Oh, missed on the one-time little snapper into the zone. That was number 11, Hawes. And Queensland dumps it down into the zone behind the goal. Cockburn picks it up. ACT, Tucky, he gets it to the middle of the ice. ACT on an attack to the blue line, fired wide. Number 7 with it now, DeRoy. He was looking for that D to D pass and didn't come. Back to the blue line. Kept in by Cockburn. Fired to the front of the net. And Arthur makes the save for a stoppage. First little bit of pressure by ACT in a while.
Yeah, it was good to see shots on net and a little bit of hustle there to make that happen.
.6:17 to go in the period. Face off to the right of Arthur. Back to the blue line. That's number 22. He just fires it weakly into the corner. Back to the half boards. Kept in by Waters. Behind the goal, Harvey. He chases after it. Mannix chips it. Back around the boards. Waters takes the shot. Blocked by the skate of the Queensland defender, number 12, I think that was, Mannix, Winston Mannix. Puck is picked off by his brother, number 4, Barrett Mannix, who dumps it in deep and chases after it. Behind the goal, Sutherland and DeGraff battle for it. Mannix, he tries to tie it up along the boards. 5 players in there after it. Harvey. Back comes ACT. Into the zone it goes. From their own side of the red line, Harvey fires it towards the net. Behind the goal it goes. Harvey picks it up again on the half boards. Circles in behind the net. Gets it back to the blue line. Sutherland winds up, takes the shot. Blocked by number 12, Winston Mannix. Back to the front of the net, just fanning on that shot was Penny goes after it. And out comes Queensland. DeGraff over the blue line takes the shot right into the glove of the ACT goaltender.
We had a long long non-stoppage of play then.
Yeah, about 2 minutes
Yeah.
of play without a whistle. 4:41. Fired to the net, scores off the face-off. Static. He gets the rebound as Fury made the stop.
Nice scoop
And-
from that rebound, picked up there nicely for Jackson Stanek. That'll put Queensland in front 3-0 with 4 minutes 38 remaining in the second period.
Quick replay on the play. Back to the front of the net. That sounded like it was assisted by Didier Dalgety and number 28, Bryce Hodges. Face off back at center ice. 4-0 the score now. Cockburn, he goes back for it. Behind the net, stops up onto the half boards on the breakout. Misses his man, goes through the legs. Back into the zone it goes. After it, to the front of the net. Good play by Smith, I think that was. He gets taken down.
And Jace Haley might be coming right our way,
Well, I
heading to the
believe
box for a
Haley.
tripping.
Haley coming to the box for 2 or less. Watch your toes.
Morning, Jace.
20, minor penalty, tripping.
They never do think it's a call. Picking up some back chatter here on the open mic. He's happy and laughing.
Jace is always laughing. He's always smiling.
Back into the zone it goes. ACT on a power play for the next 2 minutes. Oh, fired backhand pass, just missed by number 14, Panini. Into the corner, Sutherland up against Hawes as they battle for the puck. Hawes gets it to the blue line, but not out. Fired towards the goal, just wide. As that's deflected, Panini, he dumps it back into the zone. Back to the blue line, kept in again by Panini. I'm almost disappointed he gets the puck so much because I have to butcher his name every time he gets it. Please help somebody out there in TV land. Over the blue line. Harvey puts it behind the goal. After it is Waters, back to the blue line. Penny, he keeps it in. Queensland cheating on this penalty kill. They get it into the zone. Stanek, he can't get it. Chips it into the zone, goes for a change. It gets rimmed around the boards. Out comes ACT. Can't catch up to it. Sutherland, he lets it go through his legs as he goes for a change. Cockburn gets it up onto the half boards. Out comes DeRoy down the left-hand side with some speed. Off the bench, Sargent just got onside. Back to him in the slot, takes the backhand shot. Turnaround shot by DeRoy. And just out of the zone. 24 seconds left in this power play. Watch your toes.
11 to 11.
Yeah? Yeah. Clock is wrong. Clock is wrong. Clock is wrong. Go. As that penalty time clock is wrong. And out of the penalty box comes the Queensland player. Fired down the ice. And that'll go for icing.
Good things Chloe's all over it with the times here.
I'm trusting Chloe. Even though it said 10 seconds left on the penalty time clock, the main clock is the deciding factor here. Face-off win. Out comes number 81 for ACT. He gets taken down. Picked up behind the goal. That's Boland. He fires it around onto the wing to Smith. He gets to the blue line. Dumps it in deep. They chase after it. 3 Queensland players in deep on the breakout. Out comes Sargent down the right side, dumps it back to the middle of the ice. Backhand pass. Queensland to the front of the net. ACT get it there. That's number 21. Again, into the slot. ACT pressing here. Gets taken down, scores!
Would have been a tripping call penalty. Ref's hand went up, but that puck found the back of the net on Kayla Haley.
That's number 3, Sargent. So that goal scored by number 3, Alexander Sargent, assisted by Clayton Ballard and Oscar Villegas to make the score 4-1 on the delayed call. Face-off won by ACT, fired down the ice by Sargent, deflected, called off by the linesman to the blue line and out. Back into the ACT zone. Sutherland with a weak pass, tries to clear it and can't. Picked off by DeGraff. He puts it behind the net, chip to the front of the net. Good stick by the ACT defense. Fired wide. Mannix after it, pinching his brother to the front of the net again. Penny, he gets it up onto the wing. Big hit on Harvey by Mannix. As he dumps it, but not deep. Back comes Queensland. DeGraff, he gets it in the zone, avoids a hit. Sutherland delayed offside. Zone's cleared. Back comes ACT over the blue line. That's number 6 gets it. Penny, he forces a clearing attempt into the ACT zone. Sutherland up onto the wing. Takes a hit. And that'll do it for the period as the puck is fired just as the horn sounds.
Yeah, we'll go into our final period with Queensland in lead, 4-1.
Yeah, an interesting period of hockey. I mean, ACT bounced back a little bit. Queensland still dominant, 37 or 27-4 on the shot count, but ACT gets one back late. We'll have a 15-minute break for the ice cut, and we'll be back with the second period summary and opening face-off for the third period for Julia Fixter. This is Chris Langell. We'll see you then.
Cheers.
Welcome back to Cockburn Ice Arena, folks. Chris Langell along with Julia Fixter bringing you the commentary of this morning's first tilt of the day between Queensland and ACT. 4-1 the score for Queensland after 2 goals in that first period. Hodges from Boland to open it up on the power play. In the second period, Partridge from Stanek and Hawes at 14:48. Rippon from Hodges at 7:38. Stanek again from Partridge and Hodges at 4:38. And then Sargent buries at one top shelf from Ballard and Villegas at 1:10. Penalties by Smith for tripping at 14:27. Sutherland for kneeing. And Haley for tripping. Teams all even. 27-4 shots in favor of Queensland. Fired to the net off the opening face-off. As in on it is the Queensland or ACT forward.
Usual players protecting their goalie. Little pushy shovey in front of the net.
That was Logan Woods with a little bump in front and a return bump from behind by the Queensland defense. Not appreciating that one. All in good humor. Face-off will come outside the zone because the ACT defense came into the mix. Won by ACT, pushed ahead, taken over by Queensland. Back comes Boland. He gets it into the zone, skate to stick, spins back to the blue line. Shot on goal, gets deflected wide by Slumpton. Back into the zone. Pinned along the boards by Waters. Queensland bring it behind the goal. Trying to catch up. Somebody loses a stick. Back into the corner. Chipped out to the blue line. Out of the zone. Smith gets his stick lifted. Battle along the boards. Smith puts his body into it. Rippon. Over on the wing, that's number 81, takes a shot over the goal. In behind the net goes ACT. Molly on the forecheck. Back to the blue line. DeGraff, he gets it off the skate of the ACT player. Bounces in behind the goal. Molly after it. Around to DeGraff. Back to Molly. He tries to reverse back into the corner. Gets it to Mannix. Molly fires it back behind the goal to Mannix. Fired to the net. Oh, that bounced off the pad of the goaltender and sat by his feet for a couple of seconds. And ACT clears it down the ice. That'll go for icing. So no changes as the officials try and sort out who was on and who was off.
Always fun and games. Creeping up again.
Yeah, a little bit of a false start there as the forward change position. Face off won by Queensland. Tried to get it to the front of the net. Deflected off the shin pad. Out comes ACT. They'll get a change. ACT, Stanek up through the middle to Partridge. He gets his pass blocked. Back to Partridge on the half boards. He takes it behind the net. To the front of the net, scores as Hodges stepped out from behind to put the backhand past the goaltender for a 5-1 Queensland score.
Nicely little sneaky shot round from the back.
Yeah, good puck movement from the half boards back behind the goal, and he steps out and just puts the puck past the goaltender. Sutherland, he gets it over the blue line down the left side, cuts back towards the middle, gets his stick lifted. Haley, he gets it back in the middle zone. Back comes number 6 with it. He gets it up to Sutherland to the front of the net. The puck sat there for a second and fired back down the ice. as the goaltender sets up to try and get the pass up to Harvey. Harvey backhands it out into the neutral zone. Queensland had to wait for their teammates to get onside. Mannix, he dumps it behind the net. Back to Mannix to the front. Good pad save by the goaltender as that puck was deflected. Back behind the goal. That's number 81 with it. He reverses to Graff. Back to the blue line. Dalgety, he gets it to the front of the net.
Oh, to Graff over the top of the goalie.
He did his best to avoid him, but he was pushed from behind over the goaltender. No harm, no foul, as they say.
Defender's quick to jump in there to protect the goalie.
Yeah, I think they realized that there was no intent there, and he was just trying to avoid the goaltender.
Pretty spectacular little flip over the top, though.
It was a 10 out of 10 on the 10 of the dive-o-meter. Puck comes out into the neutral zone. Back for it is Boland. Smooth skating defender. He fires it into the zone. That gets under the glove of the goaltender. Fortunate for him, it was wide. Dalgety picks it up. To the blue line to Smith. He can't get it in deep. Back comes ACT off the boards. Sargent, he picks up the loose puck. Back into the ACT zone it goes. Across the seam. Picked off by Rippon. That's fired into the zone. That's Lumpton, sorry. Puck bouncing around in the zone. Waters, he gets it up onto the boards. Kept in at the blue line briefly. Back comes ACT over the red line. That's number 7 with a Duroy. Fired behind the goal. ACT goes for a change. Up comes Queensland off the board. Just misses his man as he didn't get the angle.
No change.
Referee pretty sharp, getting the right personnel on and off the ice for this icing. 32-5 now, the shots on goal. Face off in the Queensland zone. Picked out. Down comes Stanek. Knocked off his stick by Sutherland. They go back into the zone. Ballard after. Oh, and down goes, that's number 24, Dalgety. And he just caught an edge. Big hit by Partridge, I think that was. Another big hit by the Queensland player. Getting a bit physical here. Stanek, he takes it over the blue line. Can't get it in deep. Now it's taken over by Partridge. He cuts to the net. Takes the shot. That goes off the blocker. And sliding into the boards is the ACT player.
Yeah,
gets up a bit
might have just
gingerly.
lost an edge there. I don't think him.
Yeah, he was coming back pretty hard on the back check. Lost an edge.
We're down to the last 10 minutes of play here. Queensland in front, 5-1.
Face off won by ACT. They rip it around behind the goal to the point, kept in. Goes behind the net. Back up onto the half board, cycled again into the corner. Queensland switches side, back to the front of the net. Then out comes ACT. Good back pressure by the Queensland forward as Boland battles through that puck. To the point, kept in by number 11. Oh, and a big high hit there in front that was missed by the officials. Back into the zone it goes. Picked off by Mannix. He gets it to the front of the net. And back comes ACT, number 6. That's Harvey, I think it is, going down the right side. Gets his pocket picked. The puck in the skates of Duroy. He loses his stick. Over the blue line. Shot deflected into the corner. To the blue line. That's Harvey. with the hit to the front of the net. Good save by the goaltender, fired back down the ice. And Ripon can't get to it as it goes for icing. ACT won't be able to make a change. As referee Fraser Olson just ran a little bit of interference there for Ripon to get to that puck. Face-off will come back into the ACT zone. 8:26-7 to go in the period. Draw won by Queensland onto the half boards. Battle along the boards for it. Queensland player and ACT player pinning the puck with their skates. Referee calling for it to be moved. Puck comes loose into the slot, picked up by ACT. That's number 14 with it. He takes the shot. Oh, that goes off the pads of the goaltender and bounces in the corner. Back to the front of the net. Back comes Queensland. Tried to get it forward. That goes off the feet of the linesman. Fired back down the ice.
And we have another icing. This time's for Queensland.
ACT just struggling a little bit with the speed. They can't match the speed of Queensland and the skill level with puck management, puck handling. But they keep on coming and trying to get into the zone and get some opportunities on this goaltender. Behind the goal, Haley, I should say, back to the blue line. ACT, they take it back up into the neutral zone, almost picked up by Static. Picked up by number 44, Partridge.
Nicely scooped up.
Yeah, he picks up that loose puck just outside the blue line, crosses the line, and just rips a quick wrist shot, and that bounces off the glove of the goaltender, Arvise, or Fury, as I'm now told to call him.
Who is having a cracker game. He's had 34 shots heading his way.
Goal needs to be adjusted. 7:52 to go in this third period. Face off won by ACT. They can't recover it. And they do. Off the skate of the ACT player. Back comes Partridge to the front of the net. Oh! Gets it right onto the stick of Hodges. And he just does the little forehand backhand move. And puts it into the open cage. That was a nice pass across.
Yeah.
By number 44, Ozzie Partridge. Back comes ACT into the zone. Sutherland, he keeps it in briefly, but out it comes. Onto the stick of Smith. He takes it over the zone, avoids a check from Sutherland. Takes it to the front of the net, can't get it, take it with him. Sutherland, he picks it up behind the net, takes a hit from Smith under his feet as he tries to get control of it, plays it from his knees out to the blue line, but not out. Sutherland chips it into the slot. After it is number 25 for ACT. Fired into the zone. Thought that was offside, but not according to the linesman. Puck off the skate, back into the zone. Cockburn, he takes a bump, and another one from number 81, DeGraff. Queensland gets control of it behind the goal. Mannix looking for an option. I believe the clock has frozen. It is running on the screen. It's just frozen, and there it goes. It'll have to catch it up during the break. Puck goes behind the goal. Sutherland, he goes down. Battling for the puck. Queensland, they bring it to the front of the net. Scores. As Molly.
There's a little sneaky behind again around the corner.
He steps out unimpeded and puts the puck through the net. ACT's taking a timeout just to give the goaltender a break, I think. 35-6, the shots on goal. (8-1) the score. Goals by Hodges from Partridge and Stanek at 12:41. Partridge from Stanek at 7:52, and then Hodges from Partridge and Stanek at 7:40, and that one by number 47, Molly. As he stepped out from the corner of the net, slipped it through the 5-hole to make it 8-1.
And the clock's starting at 6 minutes remaining. We have Haley and ACT captain on face-off.
Back to the front of the net, into the slot. Haley, he picks it up, takes it into the corner, takes a bump. Behind the goal. ACT and Queensland battling for it to the front of the net. Oh, and he scores. That's Smith. He puts that one past the Queensland or ACT goaltender. And he was happy about that. I don't know that he scored too many goals.
No, I think that
was that his first one.
First, maybe, well, definitely
possibly
for this tournament. I'm not sure. I think first for Tange. Yeah, Fury looked like he made the save, but it rolled in over the skate.
Yeah, Smith just pounced on the rebound. Back comes ACT. They fire it towards the goal. 9-1 the score, 5:27 to go. Back up under the wing. That's Smith again. He loses control of it. Takes a light bump by Sargent to the front of the net, off the chest pad of the ACT goaltender, and Hodges. He picks up the loose puck in the high slot, goes down on one knee and just buries a low shot under the pads for a 10-1 lead.
Unassisted there, Bryce Hodges.
Yeah, that pass out into the slot by ACT just slid right onto the stick of Hodges, down on one knee and buried it low to the stick side under the pad.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to get on the receiving end of a Bryce Hodges shot for sure.
No, I think he uses his size to his advantage in that case. Behind the net, Partridge pressuring Sutherland. He's got one hand on the stick, gets it out into the slot. Out comes ACT. They can't get it out of the zone though. Fired back in. Behind the goal. Sutherland picks it up. He struggles to get it out of the zone. Back in comes Queensland into the corner. Partridge with the hit. Cockburn rims it around to the far side. That Smith keeps it in the blue line. And number 12, Winston Mannix. And he's going to go to the box.
We've got a tripping call there for Winston and ACT on a power play.
So he'll go to the box for 2 or less. 4:22 to go in the period. Face-off win by ACT. Back to blue and a hard shot from Waters. Back comes Queensland. Haley on the penalty kill to the front of the net. Scores. What a shot.
Coast to coast there.
Top shelf as Haley crosses the blue line and snaps a shot over the glove of the goaltender for the 11th goal of the game. And that was indeed Smith's first goal of the tournament. Assisted by Haley, and then Hodges unassisted. And now Haley likely unassisted as he took the puck up through the middle on his own.
On a PK.
Kept in at the blue line. DeRoy, he takes it in deep. Battling for the puck in the corner with 3 other players. Comes out of the zone, gets it to the front of the net. Good stick by the goaltender. Back behind the goal to the blue line. Shot high and wide. And at the blue line, Waters can't keep it in. Back into the defensive zone. ACT trying to get it out. Waters, he has it knocked off his stick. Back for it is number 91, Ballard. Behind the goal. He comes up slowly down the left side. Checked by Static. To the middle of the ice, into the far corner. Hit by the ACT player on his own player. As we're still having problems with that penalty time clock. So we have to rely on the main clock to determine when the player steps back onto the ice. I think that was an icing call on the penalty kill, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Face-off win by Queensland, push it forward, but back comes ACT, fired on net. And that'll go for a face-off to the left of Arthur. Hasn't seen a lot of rubber today, but has been there when she needed to be. Back down the ice it goes. 10 seconds roughly to go in the power play. Back comes ACT for one final rush. Out of the box comes Mannix. He goes to the bench. DeGraff comes on for him. ACT controlled behind the goal. Tried to get it back to blue line. Down goes DeGraff, down the left side, takes a shot. Good save by the goaltender as he squeezes the pads. As DeGraff was in alone down the left side of the ice. Snapped a quick shot looking for that 5-hole.
Fury's up to 41 shots in his face this morning.
Face off to the right of the goaltender. Won by ACT out to the blue line. Punched ahead. Sargent, he can't catch up to it. D-to-D intercepted. Kept on side as Villegas takes it in to the front of the net. Oh, just fumbled by Sargent. He gets it back to the blue line. ACT playing for pride. Sargent gets his stick lifted. In behind the goal it goes. To the front of the net. That's loose. And Arthur had to be careful.
Yeah, she kicked it out of her house this morning. That was a bit of a fumble, loose puck movement.
Well, that'll sometimes happen when you don't see a lot of pucks during a game. When the puck does come and you need to scramble, you have to be sharp. Face off, scramble along the boards. Kept in at the blue line by Waters off his skate. Back to the middle of the ice. Over skating, it was Molly. Gets it up now onto the wing. ACT got away with one there, I think. Big hit in the corner. There's a little bit of physical as the players try and get it fired to the net. Mannix takes the shot. That's off the skates of the sliding number 3, Sargent. Referee's arm is up. Get a delayed penalty call on ACT. They're battling for the puck, and they finally touch it.
Kayla gets a quick sprint to the bench on the delay penalty there, and we have 48 seconds remaining in the game.
Probably needs that to warm up.
Yeah.
Standing down at the end, and just recently getting some pressure from ACT. But ACT goes to the box.
2 minutes for boarding.
Fired to the net. Good save by the goaltender. Out into the zone, ACT zone, that's Harvey. He takes it in, makes a move, gets it over to the blue line. Not out. Intercepted. ACT takes the shot on the penalty kill. They're putting some pressure on this penalty kill. Sutherland keeps it into the blue line, makes a move, takes the hard shot right into the chest protector of Arthur. And again, has to be careful as ACT putting some pressure on this penalty kill. Only 18 seconds to go in the game.
Yeah, ACT certainly didn't give up the fight. They've held it right to the end.
Well, like they say in hockey, sometimes last goal wins.
Yeah.
Offside is the call. And they're looking for that last goal just to make a bit of a feel-good moment. Haley in on the draw against Ballard. Fired in deep. That'll just about kill the clock as number 7 goes behind the goal. Swings out onto the wing. Can't get it out though. And as time expires, the horn will go. And that'll do it. 11-1, the final score. Shots on goal, 42-9 in favor of Queensland. And the final stats for that third period. Scoring, Hodges from Partridge and Stanek, 12:41. Partridge from Stanek at 7:52. Hodges from Partridge and Stanek at 7:40. Molly from Mannix at 6 minutes. Smith from Haley at 5:34. Hodges unassisted at 5:11. And then a shorthanded goal by Haley, unassisted. 4:08 to go in the period. Penalties to Mannix for tripping and Villegas for boarding. Shots on goal in that third period, 15-5 in favor of Queensland as ACT comes back with a solid effort in that third period. Final shots, 42-9 in favor of Queensland, and final score, 11-1. So we'll wrap it up here. We'll come back shortly for the first Ginsburg game of the day, I believe.
Oh, we've got one more TANGE, New South Wales versus South Australia coming up.
That's right,
next.
TANGE, New South Wales, South Australia coming up next, 7:45. And I'm not sure whether we're ahead or behind schedule at 7:40, so I just suspect we're not going to get that game started on time. But we'll take a break now for the ice cut. And for Julia Fixter, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
This is Chris Langell. We'll wrap it up and we'll see you then.
Cheers. Have a great day.